Hi everyone, I'm Saloni and today we have with us the Chief Business Officer of Blue Medics, Mr. Sumit Datta with us. Hi and welcome to Social Bits. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you, Saloni, and thank you for having me here.
Okay, so shall we start with a small introduction about yourself?
Yes, sure, please. Uh, to give you a gist of, my overall experience into the industry has been into the corporate, experience for over, half a decade, and then with, to name a few, Accenture, Hewlett Packard, and then moved into my Indian ecosystem venture, which was into Flipkart. I was leading the marketplace catalog over there. Had a great deal of experience in the e-com industry. Wow, grateful to have been part of the first and second Big Billion Day launches. Uh, Wonderful experience, wonderful, team synergies, and great learnings. To be very precise and honest, there were great learnings. Even though we came in from corporate structured process-oriented companies, there are many things which go amiss, and this particular experience during the Big Billion Day sales and prepping up in such huge rushes of customer orders pouring in, having catalog being again at the forefront, which would always be needed to close down the sales for us. It was great experience on that side. And then post that, been in the ecosystem with startups, for startups, and then again with investor ecosystems, launched few fund houses in Bangalore. Then the last role that I held was with NASCOM, and I was heading the, as a regional lead for the Northeast ecosystem for Tripura. So pretty much, a great cumulative experience of more than a decade into this ecosystem now. And with Blue Medics, I'm heading the entire business vertical for the Bangalore expansion, to the technology team setups, to, outreach in terms of, investors, as well as, developing partnerships.
All right. So what inspired Blue Medics? What was the idea behind it?
The idea behind Blue Medics was, that the entire rural ecosystem in India, primarily the semi-urban and rural segments like tier 3, 4, 5 and beyond, had a huge, even there still has a lot of, fake and counterfeit medicine into the market. To be precise, roughly around 25 to 30% of the market is still there with counterfeit and fake medicines. And that was a big issue. And again, medicines and pharma not being available, which products not being available which have high efficacy that could cure a lot of generic as well as critical diseases, was the main reason and idea behind this. And today at Blue Medics, we are proud to say that we have more than 120 plus retail outlets, and we have more than 30 telemedicine healthcare clinics in standalone, as well as if you add in each per pharmacy, then it goes to 120 plus 30, around 150 odd channels that we are there at in a span of mere 3 years. And it has been a great experience, a great journey of learnings again, and yes, improvising. And we did also crack the supply chain code as well for the overall ecosystem building. We control all these stores from our single inventory warehouse. We have just one warehouse as of date, and we are controlling this entire number that I told you about from all of these 100, from just one central warehouse based in Patna.
All right. So can you describe your company's services?
We are a 100% retail pharma outlet company, and along with that, we have a telemedicine healthcare clinic, which is catering to the primary healthcare constraints that any villager has to face through. For even a basic baseline consultation, they have to travel for a minimum of around 50 to 60 odd kilometers to procure, to first get a consultation and procure medicines which are prescribed by doctors. So we are giving these services to them at pretty much at their doorstep. That's the unique proposition, and that's what we are catering to.
Okay, so you said about rural things and all. So, what challenges have you faced in building and scaling up your business?
Challenges, okay, to begin with, yes, there were great challenges in terms of procurement, supply, demand and supply maintenance, manage the overall supplies from inward and outward. When would the forecasting, which is needed, because by God's grace and all the blessings that we get from all the rural arena, we have had a great team who is expert into the overall optimization to drive in a lot of core efficient metrics which are needed to overcome challenges such as supply chain constraints, first mile, last mile constraints, and setting up these pharma outlets, these retail outlets. So they were very challenging during the early days, and now we pretty much call ourselves, our tagline as well is BlueMedix, healthcare everywhere. That is the motto, that is the vision, that nobody should go unattended, that nobody should face radical constraints to get primary preliminary healthcare and access to genuine medicines at affordable price times.
Okay. So, how do you...
The kind of changes in the ecosystem that we see today as well. I mean, to give you an honest, outright answer, which I look into statistics, I can tell you is around close to 22 to 23 billion dollars is the total addressable market size in India. And we have more than 5,500 odd startups working in this sector, both healthcare, health tech, e-health, e-pharma, all put together. And the growth that we see, from what we have experienced and what we see personally as well at a company level, it is going to have a minimum spike of 40%, in the next half a decade.
Okay. So, in this business, does technology help you to grow? Like, how, if it is helping you?
That's a great question. I would say, I would not give a yes or a no. I would say it's a mixed bag.
Okay.
Because when I talk about, when I look into references to the likes of you or me, we are sitting at the first world order. People who are still in the third world order within this country, the only access they have is a cell phone access. So in those places, we may not be able to build a state-of-the-art facility as a clinical care or a hospital care mechanism. But what we do have a play of technology here is getting the doctor to do a telemedicine remote diagnosis, utilizing digital stethoscopes, digital ECG machines, the normal weighing machines to, digital oximeters and all of that. That is fed into the portal. It's as an input to the, interface that we use, which enables the doctor to know the basic patient history, understand what is the problem, and then take the diagnosis further on.
All right. So, what is your vision for the future of BlueMedix?
We are very optimistic at the pace that we are, moving. We closed really healthy numbers this year, and we envisage to, right now, 120 is a big number for a lot of people say, 120 120 store, that's a big number for people. But if I look into it from the business point and the access point to the vision that we have, we're not even at 1/4 of what it should be. BR alone has 8,471 pin codes. sorry, panchayats, my bad. It's panchayats, right? And we envisage to be at each panchayat. So we're just 120. So hope you understand the, the number and the bandwidth that we have to get to. But yes, it is, going phase by phase. We are working on our expansion modules. We have more than 150 odd LOIs from, people, businessmen who want to come on board into the franchise network, get on board as a franchise partner and expand into this. However, we have kept them on hold as of date because we like to, like I said, we like to walk the talk, like having healthcare everywhere, but also being logical. That if I want to sign off 150 odd stores, launching them would be just a mere, 1.5 month, 45 days task. But would I be able to cater to that kind of a supply? So cater to that kind of a demand? Would I have that amount of supply, build up? No, that's a straight no. That won't be the thing. So you're going phase by phase. In this particular, next 3 quarters that we have for this year, we would want to have at least a minimum of another 150 to 200 stores and, healthcare clinics opened up. I personally, have set a target of 500 e-healthcare clinics, which we call them Malappatti clinics, which are standalone clinics. I would want that to, get launched. Yes, the numbers are high, the scope is tight, but hustle and focus will certainly help us, achieve that. We have achieved a lot over the past 3 years, and I hope that, we achieve even more.
Okay. So how do you plan to stay ahead of the competition in this rapidly evolving world?
I do not want to sound, too audacious, but in this segment of rural healthcare and, pharma, there are barely any competitors.
Okay.
In our region, if I have to, because we are very focused on the region. We just don't want to go, everywhere, scattered. We want to solve the problem in first hand and then move on to other geographies. So currently, if you look into it, the spectrum that I told you about, 120 plus stores, we are spread across Bihar, UP and Jharkhand. Right? You took me as a geography, Uttar Pradesh as geography itself is, pretty much double the size of all the cumulative size of, Bihar and Jharkhand, right? And West Bengal. So that's a huge geography. So, and in terms of competition, if you tell me, I consider, that the tier 1 city competition or the fight that people have setting up, brands over there, for us, they're not, they're not competitors for us because their focus area is urban arena. Our focus arena is semi-urban and rural spaces where you do not see any brand. And I would rather, put a question to you. Give me one branded store that you've seen in a tier 3 village or a, arena. To the likes of, any big names that you can recall. You wouldn't find them in tier 3 and beyond, arenas. So that is where we are at, and that is where we see that in the online space, yes, there are a lot of competitors. However, online is only for urban arenas wherever we are, urban or a little bit of tier 2 arena. But that's not the primary. I mean, that's only, it's not a must have. It's good to have attribute. And we're there for that. We're catering to that. But again, answering your question, to rapidly evolve during the competition, in the rural segment, we don't see anybody, playing this lead with us.
Is there any specific...
And we would say, we would want, I'm sorry, just interjecting there, we would want, more competition. The more the merrier for the vision, right? The more, the better for people.
Yeah.
But as a first mover, we have the advantage. We know the supply chain, we know the procurement, we know where to be placed. And that's how we're cracking.
Alright. So is there any specific reason why there is no competition in rural areas?
They are coming up. Not really that fast though, but they are coming up. And if you look into it, unit economics, business, and focus. Any big brand that you think of, they're busy doing business, out of the urban arenas. It gives enough, moolah over there to, rake in as much as they can as a market share in the urban spaces. So the focus area certainly is going to, have a hit over there for them. And in terms of expertise, the team that we have, all the entire team is pretty much from this arena, and we understand the geography very well, and we understand what the trends very well, and we know which are the strategic arenas where we have to be placed going forward. So there's a lot that has gone into feet on the street work, and we have a fantastic team of, say, Rais being the CEO, Gaurav, the CMO. I can tell you another funny side of it, which I get a question as well, just to it might add up to your questions, that what's the kind of marketing spend that we do and all of that. We haven't spent a single penny in digital marketing till date. It's all off BTL. We haven't done any ATL till date. It's only BTL and word of mouth. सस्ता और सही दवाई तो ब्लू मेडिक्स जाए, बस ये चलता है हमारा.
Okay, so like this is a signature dialogue you say everywhere?
Nah, not really. See, I've seen that. I can give you a real-time reference. I can show you many things that gave me, because I'm based in Bangalore, right? And when I first went to Patna to to our head office, and then we made it a point that I will visit all the arenas wherever we are. I went to company stores, I went to franchisee stores. I'll give you one real experience that I got to see. There's a 120 square feet mini store of Lomedics, which is fully packed and pumped in with inventory, OTC products to pharma products, everything. And the similar size is, the neighboring, outlet. But it's not a Blumedics outlet, it's a generic normal outlet. I was standing across the road, across the street, and I was just observing. There were around 8 to 9, patients who were queued up on the Blumedics outlet, and the neighboring guy who बैठ के खैनी मान. No matter how or what they were, the patients were looking for, they could have 8-10 लोगों की भीड़ is a good enough line, a good enough queue. If they see that there is something which is available, they do not think of shifting their queue to the neighboring shop, because they believe that there is a trust and respect that we have earned. That if you could come to Blumedics, the products that you get are 100% original and affordable. If they go to other places, there is no guarantee that it may not be really of what they're looking for.
Okay. So, what do you believe are the most important qualities for a successful entrepreneur in this field?
Patience, hustle, focus, and a great team that the founders can build it on. And that's the success story for us. We've had the patience, we've hustled, and we've built a great team. If I have to elaborate each and every single pointer, I can go on and on, because there are many. And please be informed that we have not raised a single penny from the market till date. We are bootstrapped till date. We closed a lifetime revenue of 73 CR.
Oh, nice. That's
63 CR on the books. Closed at 46 last year. Our MRR is around 5 CR.
impressive.
In a span of 3 years, it is a feat which takes a lot of hustle, struggle, muscle, and you call it whatever. Lot of learnings, lot of failures. Learning from the failures, like I said. Yes, there are always, you will face tough challenges. You will face a lot of rejections. Even in partnerships, not just investor connects. A lot of startups these days think that they go by the book of these days of many influential people stating you need to face 1,000 or 100 rejections, then you'll get one acceptance. This is all crap. Why would you even need to go? I have no qualms in calling it a spade, because end of the day, it's you who knows what value proposition you're giving to the customer, and how are you making this service available to the customer and easy accessible to the customer. That's what it takes. A great customer experience and a great sense of product and services that we can cater to. That's where you build it.
Okay.
That having a franchisee network as well, they are my internal customers as well. I need to take care of them. If I do not take care of them, their constraints, their needs, supply, support, marketing in the BTL segment, then commercial supply chains and all of that, they need a helping hand. They need experienced people, experienced teams to come in. Each and every store that BlueMedics has its own branding with, they have resources trained in-house by BlueMedics. We tend to call it BlueMedics Academy. So we train each and every resource being deployed at the stores. So we know what quality we are supplying in terms of human resources as well.
So like training about what particularly?
Customer experience, pharma, SKU handling, inventory management.
All right. So finally, what advice would you give to someone who is considering to starting their own startup?
You need a great deal of market research that needs to get into it. If any founder or founders, to the sake of like-minded people coming together, make sure you do a lot of market research. People do not give heed to this. I personally, being having my previous experience scouting startups, and scouting good value prop deals and teams and many sorts, people try to reinvent the wheel, unknowing that what they're trying to build has already been built and maybe an open source or is for free already out in the market as a freemium model. So there's a lot that you need to do, and find the right problem statement. Finding the right problem statement is very crucial. If you want to, just reinvent the wheel or, go, get into a trading business. एक हाथ से लो, दूसरे हाथ से दो. Buy from one place, sell to other place. How, major D2C brands, preferably do. Not the ones who are into, sole manufacturing, but ones who are into non-branded and some kind of FMCG arenas, contract manufacturers, different sorts. See, technology is another game, D2C is another game, SaaS is a different thing. So any sector that you chose, make sure you put some great effort into your overall spectrum of global services and products, and look into the geography. If you look at the whole nation as a customer from day one, I'm sure you would need a year-long market research to be done, because in today's date you have everything at the tip of your fingers. You open your Android phone or your iOS phone, marketplace, app stores. You find an app for every goddamn thing that you want, starting from home deliveries to your clothes to your bathing materials to groceries to whatnot. Every day, even car repairs to office repairs to chair repairs, everything is available at the tip of your fingers. So don't waste your time with inventing something or doing something assuming that it's new, is my point. It has to have a logical and practical impact.
No. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you for joining us and giving us your time. It was great talking to you.
Pleasure, and thank you for having me, Saloni, and I wish you have a great day ahead.